supposed to turn in order to talk of, in order to throw light on the uniqueness of cultural uniqueness of India, strength of India, ability of India. So we use the word incredible. Here, incredible represents dissimilarities. It is not a bunch of similarities, but India is considered a culture, a land of multicultural, multilingual, multi-thought process. Okay, so that's why I asked a very interesting question in the beginning. That how do you take the word incredible? And this essay writer, he is basically a Telugu writer. Kanchailaya, he is basically a Telugu writer, a bilingual writer. You know very well that all the writers of the colonial structure, colonial spaces are bilingual, trilingual, because English is not our native language, and we need English to interpret ourselves, to expose ourselves, to unfold ourselves to the society which is not Indian, which is alien, which is strange. So no need of talking English, using English in our own country, because as a common language, as a lingua franca, we have two languages existing, Urdu and Hindi. And apart from Urdu and Hindi, we have many regional languages which are common. And is there any technical problem with you or with me? Because I am sitting in the same common place that where I usually sit. Iga, how it is now? Okay. So these are all the apart from the national languages, or Urdu, Hindi, Sanskrit, and apart from these languages, we have our own state languages, where Andhra and Telangana, they have Telugu, Tamil Nadu has Tamil language, whereas in Kerala, in Karnataka, in all the southern states, all the northern states, there are some common languages. If you divide India into two parts, if you divide this country into two parts, all these other languages, more or less, they know Tamil. Tamil is a common language which is understandable from all the southern states. Whereas if you go to north, Hindi can be used. Similarly, as we have two big streams of languages in India, we have many different thought processes in India. As you know very well that Indian culture is a combination of Aryan and Dravidian anthropological mixture. Okay, this is the civilization produced out of Dravidian and Aryan mixture. And you know very well, because you are all basically students of history, have studied history at many levels of various levels of your education. And the very interesting thing is, whole South is dominated by Dravidian culture. And for example, from Maharashtra onwards, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, up to Sri Lanka, this total area is dominated by Dravidian people. Whereas Kashmir to Maharashtra, it may be UP, Bihar, Uttarakhand, Punjab, these are all Yampi, they are all dominated by Aryan society, Aryan breed. There is an interpretation in the history that in fact the whole India was full of Dravidian people. It is because of the invasions by Aryans that Dravidians moved towards South India and they settled. These are all the factuals things related with geographical condition of India. Simultaneously, we have many linguistic problems, many ideological clashes between South and North. What we what North usually represents, it represents Aryan society, Aryan ways of religion, ritual, and this sentiment of Hinduism is very, very strong there in the North. According to them, Hinduism has a certain iconship. The iconship of the Hinduism is fixed in the North, where it is not fixed in South, whereas it is not fixed in South. For example, all that is related with Rama and Krishna, two icons named Rama and Krishna. One is from Treta Yuga, the another one is from Dwapara Yuga. These two leaders, religious leaders, declared religious leaders, who emerged from two great epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata, they are representatives of total Hinduism in the North. North believes it is strong. Whereas if you come towards South, the condition is entirely different. Lord Venkateshwara is there in the Andhra Pradesh, and many temples. Tamil Nadu is identified in the history, especially as the land of the temples. Innumerable temples are there. You cannot compare. It is unparalleled. No other state in India has as many temples as Tamil Nadu, because the rulers of the Chera and Pandya dynasty, they spent their total life in constructing the temples. Whereas Kerala is concerned, Sharanam Swamayappa, Islam and Christianity are the two equal sharers of the culture, religious culture of this state. So things are different. Interpretations and experiences of the people are entirely different. But overall, this is called the land of Hinduism. In fact, if you go to the history of India, India was so vast and big once upon a time during the period of Chandragupta Maurya. There are only three kings who ruled complete India. Complete India means Burma, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India to Sri Lanka. During their rule, only those three kings, period of those three kings, the total, whole, complete India was ruled. It was during the period of Chandragupta Maurya that the whole India was under the control of the king of India. Second one, it was during the period of Akbar that the whole India was under the control. And third one is again during the period of Ashoka. Okay, the whole India was completely under their control. So in all these periods, I don't know. My knowledge of history maybe falls short of covering the total exact history, whether this total country was under the one religion, one country. It was not at all principle or theory which is applicable to India, because if at all that was the case, then what was the necessity that King Akbar felt to rewrite Indian religious history? You know very well that he tried to write Deen Ilahi. He tried to establish one more religion apart from Hinduism, apart from Islam. He tried to propagate one more religion that was Deen Ilahi, and it was a code of principles, best of the codes, best of the moral values, practices taken from both from Hinduism and Islam. So now the question is, what is Hinduism? Hinduism. Just I was. It is very dangerous essay also if you study it thoroughly. When I went through the essay, I came across very many questions. Now we are again saying that Mr. Mahodi, Narendra Modi, is a leader of Hindu country. And this country was divided once in 1947, and Punjab is divided many times, especially the state named Punjab is divided many times. When India Pakistan was divided, Punjab was divided, and later on again there were divisions as Haryana and Punjab, and again the right now also, if you allow, if the Indian government allows, one more moment will come, that is Khalistan and Punjab. What is Khalistan? The part of Punjab that would like to join with Pakistan, that is called Khalistan. Khalistan means the place for Akali. Akali Dal is one of the groups in Sikhism, and they want a separate land. So this story of separatism, silsila of the separatism, is not just the thinking of today. It is there in the blood, it is there in the history of India constantly. As there are leaders who try to unite this country, simultaneously there are leaders who always try to separate this country. One of the interpretations is there on Mamata Banerjee too, that if you, what the people of BJP, what the people of RSS say is that if you don't take control over Bengal, it will become the part of the Bangladesh. One more state of India will go away. Same was the question when Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi was there. He tried to control Tamils. Of course, for that he was killed later on. What was the movement going on there? LTTE was trying to separate Tamil Nadu from India, and they had the concept of their Tamil Elam. Elam means some portion of Sri Lanka and some portion of India.